The etiquette of live streaming is so confusing. I guess that's why people put up like a 5-minute warning. Hello, everybody.
This bard's tale begins near White Orchard.
Skip the recap. Can't skip the recap. Maybe it's just loading.
Yennefer. She'd eluded him for years, but now seemed just a few steps.
I feel like Percy will be sad if I talk to Vesemir without him being here, so I'm going to wait until I know if he's here. I could recap what we learned so far. Not about the story, but about the game. Nothing has happened. There've been some choices so far which haven't had any consequences, or like they had immediate, like narrative consequences, like as in you know an event happened at the conclusion of the quest, but that hasn't then gone on to do anything further. Which is, I mean, it's fine. It's the first zone. It'd be interesting to see if anything I've decided to do in the intro comes back to bite me later. Most of them were quite intelligently written. That was quite nice. Like they were sort of relatively nuanced. They were grey choices, but they weren't like crapsack choices where it felt like, well, maybe that's just my interpretation, but it didn't feel like the game was going out of its way to punish me. Some games that are written with that tone are sort of like, see, this world is horrible, and they just sort of make it as horrible as possible and go, look what you did, and that can feel a bit, you know, trying too hard. And I haven't got that tone from this game yet. Like, my actions had consequences, but I didn't feel like the game was rubbing my face in it. I felt like it was building a compelling and meaningful world. If I don't know how this works. If I change my in-game volume setting, does that change the streaming volume? I don't actually know how it works. I'll just turn it down and see what happens. Okay, I better get on with it.
Yennefer's in Vizima. Got a few friends there, so... Something wrong?
Look around. Trouble brewing.
Who are they?
Patriots. Drinking their 7th round for Temeria. Fist starting to itch.
Don't see any Nilfgaardians.
They'll find another foe. I'll buy some provisions for the journey. Then we'll go. Geralt, we should stay out of it. Just this once.
What happened to the lilies?
Took him down.
Took them down to hang a golden sun there now.
I cannot show Temerian colours. They'll come and burn the tavern down.
Maybe it's true what they say. You fond of the Imperials? You Nilfgaard's whore?
I'll let that pass. I know grief eats at your heart.
You know shit. They hanged my sister, dragged her out the cloister like a dog. Said Nilfgaard's no place for superstition, that they don't fear the wrath of the gods. And you, do you fear it? If not for Annie, your child would have choked on its navel string. You owe your son to my sister attending to the birth, and you don't fear the gods' wrath. You don't fear it, you cunt! Leave me be!
recognize this medallion? You know what it means. Back off.
You all right?
They say witches steal young'uns. That true? What the Emperor promise you, freaks? Your own land? Like he did the elves once?
Get out, all of you.
We ain't going nowhere. And neither are you.
They won't back down now.
I can see that.
I don't know whether that was meant to be tense. It didn't feel very tense.
It's all right. It's over.
Leave me be! Get away!
See his face! God save us!
Be gone, and don't ever come back.
Ah, good thing I cleared all those question marks out then. I can't come back.
So much for not getting involved. Come on, let's go.
That brawl, we didn't start it.
Excuses, excuses. You've not changed a bit.
Yen? How?
I received a report about a witcher who'd appeared in White Orchard. I knew it was you, looking for me. I might have waited until you found me, but... well, you know me. Patience has never been my strong suit. It's... good to see you, Geralt. I'd even embrace you. Were you not covered in blood?
Sorry. Wasn't expecting to see you. To be honest, this isn't at all how I imagined we'd meet.
How did you imagine it?
You didn't imagine you'd have a Nilfgaardian escort. Don't get me wrong, Yennefer. I'm glad to see you. But I do think you owe us an explanation.
And I shall provide it. In Vizima. Ready your horses.
We can talk here. Some charming orchards nearby. In bloom even, so you almost can't smell the corpses.
A tempting proposition. Sadly, I must say no. You see, someone awaits you in Vizima. Someone who doesn't like to be kept waiting. Emperor Emir var Emrys. Or, to those on more intimate terms with him, the white flame dancing on the graves of his foes.
Doubt I number among that group. Far as I remember, last time we saw each other, he wanted to kill me.
Well, now he wishes to make you an offer.
The kind one can't refuse.
I didn't, though I could have.
Fine. Guess I'm willing to hear him out.
The Emperor of Nilfgaard, Lord of Metina, Ebbing, and Gamera, Sovereign of Nazaire and Vicovaro will feel honored, I'm sure.
What about you?
I'm going in the opposite direction. I somehow doubt the Emperor's invitation mentioned me. Besides, I've got things to do at Kaer Morhen, remember?
Yeah, I remember. Thanks for your help, Vesemir. See you soon.
How's your horse? Swift?
Can't complain. Why do you ask?
I'd like to be back behind some thick city walls as soon as possible.
Recently.
Knowing you, it was probably filthy.
Just the beginning. But then...
But then?
Hey Lux. Hey Zaru.
We should talk of this tomorrow, all right? After the audience.
This bard's tale begins near White Orchard, with my dear friend Geralt of Rivia seeking his lover of yore, the sorceress Yennefer. She'd eluded him for years, but now seemed just a few steps ahead. After many trials and tribulations, Geralt finally
That feels
learned that
bugged.
Yen
I
was
don't
in
feel like
nearby
it should be playing
Vizima.
this right now. That's a really strange thing for it to play in that interlude. There's maybe an option to turn it off somewhere.
It must suffice.
Thinkamere cares if I'm clean.
The gentleman will refer to His Imperial Majesty by his full title or not at all. The gentleman will be seated on the bergère.
The what now?
In that chair. Cletwin, please shave the gentleman's sideburns to half an inch.
What's wrong with my beard? Always thought it added to my dignity.
It does. Yet it also detracts from your elegance. In Nilfgaard, we consider beards hard on the eyes. Especially beards infested with lice.
Been on the road a while. Fine, do your thing.
Tilt your head back, please, and sit still.
How goes it? Preparations for the audience proceeding as planned?
Yes, General. The gentleman will be more or less presentable.
Who's this guy? He a barber too?
No. Morvran Vorius, commander of the Alba Division. Yennefer's escort. They were my men, all of them. Indeed, were, for none have returned to Vizima, have they? I truly wonder what happened on the road yesterday. Perhaps you could enlighten me. You have time. And a razor to your throat.
Wild Hunt killed them.
A cavalcade of wraiths dashing across the night sky. These omens of war the peasantry bubbles about. Expect me to believe that.
Frankly, I don't really give a damn.
Nordlings. We can bathe you, shave you, and clothe you, but teaching you manners, that will be a challenge.
Nice meeting you too.
Done.
Shall I shave him once more against the grain?
No. He himself is very much against the grain. That's enough. Farewell, Witcher. Or rather, see you soon.
Good. Now the gentleman may dress.
I like that they're committing to this, but if I just end up just back in my normal armor again, I'll be a bit sad.
Sadly, I did not receive exact measurements. If the garments chafe, our tailor will adjust them.
Black, black, or black?
We do not like garish colors.
That is a really
Nilfgaard.
odd
The
complaint for
gentleman will tell
Geralt
me
to
once
make
he has
of
tried
clothing.
some outfits.
That feels like sass for the sake of sass. Oh, I don't. I really don't like the character type. The sort of sassy, gruff, child character archetype. I can't stand.
Be so kind and do not disturb.
He's too cool to be just polite to people. It's a character. It's basically the default action hero archetype, and I can't stand it.
This might come as news to the gentleman, but the towel.
Okay, well this is more the kind of clothes I was hoping for. This seems like an appropriate thing to meet an emperor.
Will kindly dress.
Not sure about that one. I mean, they're fairly similar. I'm not sure that this choice is really very important. Maybe this is like Eternal Darkness, and I'm actually choosing the fundamental mechanics of the game by making this apparently insignificant choice. What's the difference between the left one and the right one? They seem very similar. Oh, it's got like yeah, I see. Yeah, well, okay. Oh, can I just take all of them? Oh, I can just what? Yeah. Oh, amazing. That's how we do it. Are these trousers all the same? Yep. I don't know anything about the politics and history of this, but I'm going to assume that Nilfgaard is entirely based on Polish stereotypes about what Germany is like. That's how I'm going to choose to interpret it, even though I don't know anything about Polish stereotypes. But well, I think in Poland they think Germans are all kind of foppish. That's how I'm choosing to interpret this.
Black suits the gentleman. Does the outfit satisfy the gentleman?
A studded doublet and a sword on my back, that's what would satisfy me. But tough, when in Nilfgaard.
Yes?
It's a saying. So what now? Powder my nose?
No need. The gentleman's complexion is light enough. The gentleman is to stand before the ruler of the North and South. I must confirm that he knows how to bow.
I'm not some boor. I know how to bow.
Please, demonstrate. That, sir, is how you might bow to a whore on a street corner, not to the Emperor of Nilfgaard. Please watch. Leg extended, hand flat, head down, chin to chest. The gentleman will rehearse.
I can't remember. Left leg forward, right hand on chest?
Lacking fluidity and grace. But we've learned to expect less of Nordlings. Come with me.
Yeah,
The gentleman will address the Emperor only when asked to, and using the appropriate
sorry, there's a
title.
lot to talk about, but there's also a lot of dialogue.
I see the gentleman is in the mood for jests. I fear the Emperor might not share his disposition. Your Majesty will suffice. Spoken loudly, clearly, and with respect. Imgrimi et art ketzer. Dijfen aden in karn eb marvut. Emir var emreis.
Bow. Your Imperial Majesty.
Arer ep do orde.
Welchen Namen? Wat kan favor? I thought you bowed before no man.
Didn't want to disappoint the Chamberlain. We're friends. Take it you didn't summon me to reminisce about the good old days, so...
Silence. My daughter Cirilla, she's returned. And she's in danger. The Wild Hunt pursues her. You will find her and bring her to me.
Are you sure? Ciri left. Went far, far away.
Do you believe I drag you here to discuss a rumor?
I think anyone can be wrong, even an emperor.
I had forgotten how insolent you can be. I haven't the time to convince you, nor the desire, in fact. Yennefer will do that after the audience.
How many men in your army? 20,000? 30? So why me?
You know why. Because she trusts you.
She trusts me, yes. So tell me why you're looking for her. Doubt it's about making up for all those lost years.
For reasons of state, as always. Enough of this banter. You will agree regardless. If for no other reason than because I shall pay you. More than you customarily receive for a contract. Considerably more.
Is that, what's his name? Charles Dance? It didn't sound like him initially. I think, is it Charles Dance putting on an accent?
I need information, not motivation. Ciri leaves few tracks. She'll be hard to find.
My corps of spies will help you. Count on them, and my army, should the need arise. Yennefer will tell you the rest. This audience is finished. Mererid! Take him to the sorceress.
Follow me, if the gentleman pleases. Please keep close. There are many honorable guests in the palace, whom the gentleman...
Disgusts.
...need not bother.
I want some of this armor. Can I craft that? That's what I want. The Guardian plate.
What? Do you know who you're talking to, soldier? I'm Herivard II, Prince of Elander. Not only am I made to wait here like some supplicant, but you for company?
Vecinas
A tinter.
Ja, nee. Raadsleden nicht, es tun, es sauer an nee.
Es sieht Prinsen neem
Is maar streek.
A deserter from the Squire Tent.
Once the gentleman is done, he should see me to retrieve his possessions. Once the gentleman is done, he should see me to retrieve his possessions.
Sharpened yet. Then transcribe. The true authority in Novigrad is not the city council or the merchants guild, but the Church of the Eternal Fire and the criminal underworld. At times it is difficult to tell the one from the other. They both display a similar ruthlessness and cynicism that...
Please wait, Your Excellency. I'm falling behind.
You know what? I'll write the report myself. You'll need only prepare a clean draft. In triplicate.
Well, there's quite a lot to unpack there. I like the interaction between Geralt and wait, is it Geralt or Geralt? Geralt, isn't it? I like the interaction between Geralt and the Emperor, because although he was being insubordinate, he wasn't sassing and doing stupid one-liners like he was with the what was the guy? Can't remember now.
Vedimi, directly out of Nordling Tales. Inconceivable.
it's that weird sort of childish
Geralt,
teenager attitude that really
tunic,
bothers me in
you're
action hero
positively
characters.
smashing.
Dying to take it off.
I'd consider that a proposition under different circumstances. One I might even take you up on. But we've matters to attend to. Now do you understand why I'm at Emir's court?
Uh-huh. And seems we're in the same boat now. Ciri, she's really back? No chance he's mistaken?
Look, that's more or less what she looks like now. Or so our agents claim. Our little witch has grown into a young lady.
And there's something to say there about quest prerequisites, right? Like, presumably this is following on from some story in The Witcher 2. Maybe not, but I assume so. And I haven't experienced that story, so I'm having to piece together who Ciri is. Ciri, but Geralt. What? That's so confusing. I guess she is from a different country. Yeah, that's fair enough. But I quite like stories that are like this, that sort of give you enough. They need to give you enough of the pieces to keep you interested, right? But I don't know the backstory of this character. I don't know how the daughter of the Emperor ended up as a Witcher, and the premise is intriguing. The fact that I didn't play through that story isn't making me enjoy it less. But obviously, if I had played through The Witcher 2, I would have a completely different perspective on the story. My relationship with this character would have been presumably well established, and I would have some emotional investment in them, which I don't. Like, from my perspective as a player, I don't have any involvement in that character, and it would be interesting to see if they do a good job of establishing that. Because they did the dream at the start, but that did not characterize. I would say no, it's not from The Witcher 2. So is Ciri not in The Witcher 2? That's interesting. Well, I guess that illustrates a slightly different point, right? Which is that anyone who's coming to this from the books has a totally different perspective on it. So so every player is expected to pick up on this now, right? That's interesting. Because well, in that case, then I would say I don't think the dream sequence has done enough to make me care about this character. At the point at which I'm being asked to find her, I, as the player, should be in a similar state of mind to Geralt, in thinking, oh, I've got to find her, I care about her a lot. And I didn't get that from the tutorial where she was annoying. Like, they went out of their way to kind of make her annoying. And so I don't feel a sense of love and concern for her. I'm assuming I'm supposed to sort of feel fatherly towards her. Trying to think of a comparison point. Yeah, like by comparison, the intro to Max Payne, which is simpler. The intro to Max Payne is when you you come home and find that your wife and your baby infant daughter have been murdered by gangsters, or I guess even Fallout 4. Like Fallout 4 generally isn't very good, but the intro is extremely powerful at setting up your motivation. You really care. You know, you watch your wife killed in front of you, and you watch your baby taken away, and you're immediately very motivated. You don't need to be told that you care about your baby, right? Because it makes it clear. But I don't have a relationship with Ciri. Has not been established for me as a player.
So they're our agents now? My, you've clearly settled in quick.
Geralt, don't twist my words. I know who Emir is. He started this war and its bloodshed. He had my friends killed. But I haven't any other choice. So please, let's not belabor the pros and cons and instead focus on finding Ciri. All right?
Right. Emir said the Wild hunts after her. I'd find that hard to believe before what happened yesterday. How did they track us down?
Because of me. You see, I've spent months searching for Ciri, using locating spells, haruspicy, geomancy, anything, really. I knew the Wild Hunt might sense it, perhaps even find me, but I thought I'd tricked them.
Well, guess you were wrong.
Oh, sorry, Percy, I'll talk your question when the dialogue's
finished. I've sensed them on my trail, hunting me for some time. If not for you and Emir's soldiers, they'd have gotten what they were after. I can't risk another encounter like that. It's time to put away the magic, turn to more traditional methods. To the best tracker I know. You must find her, Geralt. Before the Wild Hunt does.
Sorry, Percy asked how could they have set it up better, given that you have to be distant because you're meant to be finding her. I mean, if they're trying to, I mean, so like I feel like okay, so the premise is that she's grown up, so presumably she's a different person now. That's a fairly standard trope, right? I'm going to meet her and she's not going to be the little girl I remember. So they have that moment to work with, but I need to feel a sense of attachment and ownership's not quite the right sense. Yeah, I guess like parental concern over the girl, right? And the girl that she was. So I don't think they need more content. In fact, it would probably be a mistake to put a lot of content at the start of the game that's set in a flashback. But it's just about what it focuses on, because the flashback that was there didn't depict her in a good light and didn't particularly depict Geralt's relationship with her in a good light. I know that they are working with Geralt's curmudgeonly stoic character, but even so, like okay, so like the obvious example that springs to mind for me is Ico, the old PlayStation game Ico, which works very hard to create a sense of responsibility for the princess. That you're a little boy and you're escorting this princess around this castle, and you constantly having to look out for her and care for her. That the basic mechanic of the game is that the enemies come to attack her and you have to defend her, and then also you have to figure out. She occasionally helps with puzzles, but usually you have to figure out how to get her through the puzzles. So she's almost like your cart that you're trying to get through the environment, and that makes you really. You're always intensely aware of where she is, how vulnerable she is, how much protection she needs, whether she's in danger. You're incredibly aware of her specific, how fast she is, how good she is at climbing, because that matters to resolving the puzzle. Yeah, kind of like the companion cube, right? And so the sense of attachment you develop to that character is absolutely incredible. It's really, really emotionally intense. And obviously they don't have time to do a whole game of that. But then if you compare that to what they actually did in the game, which was that the content it chose me to give me was a cutscene where Geralt admonishes her for not being good enough at dancing on the top of wooden poles, which didn't make me feel any sense of attachment to her at all. Then I beat her in a race. Then I trained with someone else while she hacked at a training dummy. It didn't. Yeah, it was a dream. It wasn't actually a flashback. It was a dream. But presumably, he was dreaming about an event that happened or that could have happened. None of the three things that happened in that scene made me feel any sense of attachment to the character. And the little bit of dialogue she had an incredibly irritating voice. And I didn't, it's just an execution thing, right? And maybe that's all by design, and it's fine. Maybe I'm not supposed to like Ciri, but I feel like the plot point they're building up to is, oh my goodness, you're not the same. Presumably she's going to be a bit cold and distant or something like that, and Geralt's going to be a bit offended or something like that. I don't know, but Anyway, I think, assuming that what they're going for is a sense of sort of paternal responsibility, I'm not feeling that at all. And I think it would be perfectly possible to execute.
The Wild Hunt. What could it want from Ciri?
I've no clue, Geralt. Might have written them to ask, but I don't have their address. I know as much as you do. It must be about her blood. Her gift. As for what the Hunt wishes to do with that gift, I prefer not to think about it, really.
So where's Ciri exactly?
In two places. Velen and Novigrad. The trail in Velen is most promising. You should make that your first stop. Ask for a merchant named Hendrik at the inn at the crossroads. One of the Emperor's agents. He should get in touch with you.
That's it? No passwords? Secret handshakes?
None. Sorry to spoil your fun. Your boyhood fantasies about the crafts of the trade. All we have in Novigrad are unconfirmed reports, rumors. But there you will have the help of our mutual acquaintance. Triss Merigold. Apparently she's got a cozy flat on the main square.
Sure she'll be delighted to see me. What about you? What will you do?
I shall sail for Skellige. There was a magic explosion there recently, blew half a forest down. I believe this had something to do with Ciri. I'll be in Caer Trolde. Join me there once you've learned something.
One thing before we go. Why didn't you contact me? Didn't need me? Didn't even want to see me?
I didn't want to spoil things. I'd heard you and Triss made a great couple.
Yen, I'd lost my memory.
Really? That's your excuse? Let's drop it, all right? It's not what you think, or it helped me understand how much I love you. I don't wish to hear it. Any of it.
The dialogue's quite functional. It's good. It's competently written and it's well delivered for the most part. Geralt's a bit flat, but it's quite functional. They're more or less just saying, they're doing a lot of exposition, and now we've switched over to now they're expositing about their relationship, rather than that like all being like in theory, like great dialogue is like it does all of those things at once rather than having to like do it in sequence. I mean, because she kind of blatantly said at the start, hey, we could have sex but we're too busy, and then they just did some exposition for a bit and now they're talking about their relationship. Like, she's obviously got strong opinions here, but I didn't get any sense of that throughout the rest of her dialogue. It wasn't. Yeah. Mass Effect though.
Guess this means we need to split up again. Not my preference, but I understand. Clock's ticking.
It is indeed. So why don't I teleport you to Velen, get you there at once?
Not gonna happen. I'll go on horseback, as soon as I can get changed.
Have it your way? Oh, and you really look quite dashing in black velvet.
Think so? Maybe I can have some of my armor lined with it. Good luck, Yen.
Same to you. And if you wish to learn what's happened in the world while you and Vesemir roamed the wilderness, talk to Ambassador Varatra. That's him over there. And Geralt, I know it's wartime, but try not to be a hero, all right? Just check those leads and come back to me, in one piece. I shall be waiting.
The animation on her dress is almost really good. Just clips through her ankles a little bit. It's pretty good though. Wait, is there no one in here? Does that mean I can steal everything? Yennefer, my dear friend, thank you for your letter. Forgive me for not answering your earlier attempt to reach me via Megascope. I'm trying to limit my magic communication to the absolute minimum. One never knows who's listening, don't you agree? I picked the right voice for this. I'm delighted you have found a position at our gracious Emperor's court and wish you the best of luck in the search for his daughter. It's good to know that Emir's intentions for her have become more, how shall I put it, mundane. Perhaps in these circumstances an agreement regarding the lodge will prove possible after all. In response to your first question, I can state beyond all doubt that Ciri has not appeared anywhere south of the Yaruga. Believe me, I could recognise her magic signature in my sleep. I've not had any contact with Triss for a long time. I only know that things in Novigrad have taken an ill turn. She mentioned something earlier about fleeing to Kovia, but I'm afraid that in the current political climate that amounts to an impossible daydream. I hope I will soon be able to join you in Vizima. First, however, I must take care of some unfortunate yet urgent matters in Beauclair. With my fondest regards, Fringilla Vigo. P.S. Thank you for the news about Geralt. He always seems to land on his feet, doesn't he?
Scars healed nicely.
Yes. Boring. Probably ought to read the Wild Hunt. Oh no, that's just myth. Okay, fine. Boring. Law. Okay, there is some information that I want more now. Like if I had the opportunity to ask NPC, I would ask them. I want to see a world map. That's why. So it's now piqued my interest enough. Ah, there's one. Okay, what can we deduce from this world map? I want to know what the geographical relationship between Nilfgaard and Northgard. What's Temeria? I want to see the geographical relationship between those two countries so that I can understand who is invading who. I'm guessing Nilfgaard is to the south. Presumably, is that big black one Nilfgaard? And is the red one Temeria, which is red because it's under attack? Oh, is there a world map I can look out at? Zoom out. Space world map. Oh, that's not space. No. Somehow opened something completely different. Space world. Aha! That doesn't tell me very much. So I'm in Vizima. Once I'm home with the kings of Temeria, currently occupied by Nilfgaard. Right, okay. So this is I mean, I don't know what the borders of Temeria are, but this is somewhere in Temeria. Toussaint, vassal duchy of Nilfgaard. Can't tell. Like, I can't really tell the scale of this map. This could be Nilfgaard, or Nilfgaard could be beyond the bottom of the map. Velen is a former Temerian province. Presumably they lost control of it in the war. Novigrad, once part of Nordania, Novigrad now has the status of a free city. So that's fantasy Amsterdam, right? I'm guessing. Skellig Isles is fantasy Vikings, presumably. Oh, the reason I was suggesting that might be Temeria in red, and that red might mean it was the enemy, like it might mean disputed territory or something, is because isn't the colour of Temeria blue? Wasn't that the colour that they had on their shield? So Temeria has been taken. Yeah, so Temeria has been taken over. So presumably this map is basically Temeria, or Temeria, and it's so everything north of here is Redania. And everything south of here is Nilfgaard, and this is like the disputed country of Temeria. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Like, that would be a good thing for the game to tell me right now, now that I care. Like, often fantasy RPGs will always have... often fantasy RPGs will, like, dump that on you in the opening crawl. They'll be like, the country of blah 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 fantasy world, and the other country of blah 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 fantasy world have been at war, but luckily the artifact of blah 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 fantasy word, and you just, like, zone out, right? Well, I do. I didn't when I was little, but I do now. Eventually it just all becomes the same. It's not that fantasy politics can't matter, it's that I think something needs to engage your attention first before you... Oh, there's loads of treasure in here. Guess this is just all Yennefer's stuff. Something, so you know, there needs to be something that grabs your attention before it does a massive info dump of politics on you and expects you to care about it. Do you think the ambassador minds that I'm nicking all this stuff? No, he doesn't seem to. It's just guards that mind. He did kind of look at me funny.
I have no time.
What shall become of Temeria? That sounds like a thing. Temeria, a land where milk and honey once flowed. In what did she wrong the gods that they should treat her so cruelly? The pearl of the north to some, she proved a galloping range for Nilfgaardian cavalry to others. As a country, it had survived 2 previous wars against the Empire. It was here that the war's bloodiest battles were fought. It was in Temeria where they bore their most bestial deeds were wrought. It was Temerian citizens who bore the full brunt of these war's horrors, and bear them we did, bravely and steadfastly, until the demise of our great protector, King Foltest. Then Providence turned its fickle face from Temeria, murdered most treacherously. Foltest failed to leave Temeria a worthy successor. And so all manner of curse soon fell upon her, tearing her apart like so much carrion. She had no more allies then. None remembered that we had once been the armour protecting the north from the designs of the mad dancer, he who had the gravestones of his foes pounded into a ballroom floor. A free and independent Temeria is no more. A dark-faced sun looms over her every rampart. Yet we Temerians live on, and always will. As long as folk believe the usurper who took our beloved capital, Vizima, to treat as his property will forever peer over his shoulder in fear, for in the shadows lurks not one dagger, but the power of a nation of daggers waiting to deal justice's blow. That didn't really tell me anything, did it? But yeah, I mean, I think there is something important there to be said about not just it's not about whether the information is there. It's about how the information. I mean, it's kind of obvious, but I think it just doesn't. It's obvious when you say it, but it doesn't seem obvious always in execution. But it's not just about presenting you the information existing somewhere in game or somewhere in the IP. It's about what is presented and when. You can't dump all the information up front, but you also can't give no information. You have to give the right sort of. Yeah, Piscacat, I was wondering the same thing. My assumption is that this is a kind of loose tale of the Holy Roman Empire invading medieval Poland, probably with a smattering of 20th century Polish territorial politics as well.
Ambassador Varatra, Yennefer suggested I ask you about current events, the war and so on.
Of course. The Emperor's servants should keep no secrets from each other. If you will, let us approach the map.
Oh, is he going to tell us all about the map? Nice. Good timing. Well, I've been rambling about this for a while, and it is doing exactly what it should.
How's the war going? I mean, apart from the Nilfgaard's triumph is imminent.
I assume this to be a private conversation. We've no witnesses, so let's dispense with the propaganda, even that shrouded in irony. Our offensive was going splendidly until winter came. Edirn was in such disarray that we encountered no resistance. We had reached the Pontar before the first snows. Only a weakened Kedwin remained, and Radovid's Redania, which had ignored the rest of the North's pleas for help. We thought they'd sue for peace, perhaps even submit to vassalization. We waited for spring, certain of victory.
Radovid? Submit?
Yes, a vain hope, I agree. Radovid sent no peace envoy, nor did he advance on our positions. Instead, he trudged over the snow-bound Kestrel Mountains and attacked Kedwin, his ally. This attack took the Kedweni by surprise. They were still mourning the loss of their king. Rudderless and dejected, they laid down their arms after a few lost skirmishes and joined Radovid. And so by spring, instead of 2 weak enemies, we had only one powerful one.
Nice. Good on Radovid.
What about Kavir?
Kavir values its neutrality, enough not to lend its armies, or more importantly, even its coin to either side. Returning to the war, this spring there was a massive battle in the marshes of Velen. Massive, yet indecisive. Both sides suffered enormous losses, unprecedented even. Radovid has retreated across the Pontar. He's safe for now, until reinforcements arrive from the south. Then Emperor Emir Var Emrys will deal with him once and for all.
Couldn't you just go home? Save everyone a lot of marching, not to mention a few human lives.
I'm afraid the stakes are too high to fold now. We can only go all in.
I feel like that map could be a lot clearer and could, for example, have the place names that he's saying on it clearly marked so that I have any idea what he's talking about. As it is, the map isn't really helping me.
How do things look in Velen?
As bad as ever, perhaps worse. This land never flowed with milk and honey, and now it flows with blood. Armies have swept through it several times, trampling fields, looting granaries, burning villages. Famine grips the populace.
So how's ruling that earthly paradise going for you?
Not well, to be honest. Our forces are spread thin as it is, and Velen is chiefly swampy forests that are difficult to control. We've had several patrols never return to their camps. Thus, we've temporarily delegated authority in this region to a certain Nordling, a former low-ranking officer in the Temerian army, one Philip Strenger, better known by his nom de guerre, the Bloody Baron. I advise you well. Avoid him.
What was the line that contradicted a law book? So Velen, I know. So Velen is down by the coast. Wait, I've lost. This is so hard to. I'm trying to piece together what they've said in combination with what we've read on the world map. Is Velen at the mouth of the river? Is that Velen?
Any news from Novigrad? Is the free city still free?
Yes, although everyone knows this won't last. Radovid is in Oxenfurt, and the Emperor is here in Vizima, at Novigrad's doorstep, both. And both require coin and ships. Novigrad can provide these. Which is why the mood in the city is rather, well, on edge.
Meaning?
How do men deal with fear? They seek reassurance and scapegoats. The Church of the Eternal Fire understands this perfectly, and so it promises to improve the lives of its flock by pointing out the guilty. Who started the war? Who profits from it? Why, it's obvious. Mages, elves, dwarves, in a word, any and all deviants. I've been stationed in Novigrad for 13 years. First as a consul, then as ambassador. I've seen a great deal. Cruelty, cynicism, greed. But what is happening there now concerns me greatly.
This guy's also a little bit too expository, right? He's just telling me stuff. He's just listing world-building facts. He seems a little. He doesn't have much character. I mean, I get. Okay, as long as not every NPC is like that, that's okay. It's okay to have a character who is a bit dispassionate and just sort of communicates information to you. But Yennefer was kind of characterized in the same way, so it's probably a writing thing. Yeah, Zanarian, that's exactly what I was thinking. Is like, yeah, he's just kind of. He doesn't feel like someone who has been characterized in such a way that would allow him to. That line he gave about the war. So I'm getting really into this, but I'm quite interested in the dialogue. He said the line. He said like, "Who started the war? Oh, it must be witches." That was a very neutral, distant way of talking about a war that he is responsible for. Like, I don't feel like they've sufficiently established his character as someone who could say something like that. Maybe I'm being unfair, but I'm a little, after two conversations of pure exposition, I'm a little. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want the exposition here. This is good, but the characterization is suffering. Unless that is the characterization, which it could be.
What's new in Skellige?
Nothing. The islanders pride themselves on that, don't they? Doing everything according to tradition, as their forefathers did. And like their forefathers, they quarrel with each other, pillage, occasionally attack our transports. This is cumbersome, but nothing more. Skellige has always been a footnote to history, and so it shall remain.
Sound awfully confident. What if King Bran manages to unite the Jarls? Lead all the clans against your fleet?
King Bran is a feeble old man. From what I know, he barely remembers the names of his own vassals. Uniting all might prove difficult.
Like, I don't have any idea what this guy's opinions are, weirdly, even though he's just talked loads and actually given me some opinion. Like, how does he feel about the war? He said we have to go all in now. It's okay that he's kind of being cagey and keeping his cards close to his chest because he's an ambassador. But he doesn't. I don't get the sense that he's trying to play me. I don't think he has an angle. I think he's just doing exposition, right? I'm really overthinking this.
Thanks for your help.
Think nothing of it. May the great sun light your path.
Also, I swear that's not a Nilfgaardian accent. Where am I going?
How might I serve the gentleman?
By returning my things.
Citrus and cloves. The fragrance will keep the gentleman's robes fresh somewhat longer.
Thanks, bunches.
The Emperor is not known for his patience. He wants his daughter back safe and sound, as soon as possible.
Yeah, mentioned something of the sort. So long.
I actually really like that minor point of characterization. Like, again, it's doing a good job of no one is good or evil, but it's just doing it in a subtle way rather than a really ham-handed, heavy-handed way. So the Chamberlain is obviously a character I'm supposed to dislike and Geralt dislikes, but he was thoughtful, and, you know, like, you could depict that character as like, oh, I accidentally threw away all of your clothes and I had to buy you new ones that you don't want, is often what you would do with that trope. But instead he, like, did a good job of cleaning them and just tried to be nice about it, and like, so, like, he takes hygiene seriously, and that's like, it's just a nice bit of subtle characterization. It's good. I've been talking a lot about, like, I guess stuff which it's not clear whether or not it's a mistake or not, or like it's not clear if it's intentional. And there's an interesting thing you get there where like fans of a thing will often what's that? They'll assume, you know, they'll give something the benefit of the doubt. So if there's something that could be a mistake, they'll assume it's not a mistake. I get that with my work, right? Something I know for sure was either a mistake or something I overlooked, and I'll see someone arguing with someone else about it and saying, oh, no, if you piece the clues together, you can see blah, 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 and actually this isn't a mistake, and it's actually, like, subtle brilliance. And I'm like, no, it's not. I just got it wrong. And something I wonder about a lot is, like, I think a work needs to make a big, bold statement up front that communicates that you should give it the benefit of the doubt. Oh, I had a good example of this. I can't remember what it was now. Just something that makes you go, oh, the writers know what they're doing. Like, so I'm going to trust them now that when I see something that could be a mistake. But so this game hasn't done that yet. So when I'm seeing, like, you know, because I was saying a lot, like, I can't tell if this guy is poorly characterized or characterized as being someone who doesn't have much of a personality. I've played enough RPGs of this type where most of the cast just don't have a personality, including party NPCs. Like, Tali, to pick a random example, just doesn't have a personality. That I can't give them the benefit of the doubt. But if they'd somehow lampshaded that to me, signalled to me that he was, you know, if Yen had said, oh, you know, he doesn't have much of a personality, he tends to just exposit all the time, then that would clue me in that the writers were doing it on purpose, and I would know, you know. And I think you need a little bit of that signalling just to sort of, because it is a kind of cynical postmodern world, right? This is not my first fantasy RPG. This is not my 10th fantasy RPG. I'm looking for things to impress and surprise me rather than, like, the existence of swords and orcs being something that just is implicitly good. Did you say this guy's going to play Gwent with me? Oh, I should save then, shouldn't I?
See you.
Okay, I'll give Gwent one more go. We'll give it one more go. Do I need to make a deck? I'll bet yes. 5 crowns. No, I'll bet 10 crowns.
Wouldn't mind a few rounds of cards.
So, what do I do here? I had a quick look at this earlier. It looks like I don't have a deck of the other factions. So I can only make a Northern Realms deck. Also, yes, so the Nilfgaardian static ability is that they always win on draws. And the Northern Realms always... so draws when they win, which would have affected how I played last time round, because I was intentionally trying to hold a card back. I have, what, too many cards? Not enough cards? Where do I actually... This is a terrible deck editor. Are these my spare cards? Man, this is a step back from Magic Arena. Is that telling me I have too many cards in my deck? Or too few cards in my deck? I don't understand why I would ever play a 1 when I could play a 5. Am I misunderstanding something? Place next to a card with the same name to double the strength of both cards. Yeah, I thought the same thing. It's really taking me out of the world. This like it's fine. I can kind of disassociate it in my head, right? But it's a really odd choice to because they obviously are going for immersion and strong world building. It's a very strange choice to me to then put in this card game just can't exist. There's no way to explain this in the lore. Is it something from the books? Because it's just like as depicted here. It's like it has the same problem as Pazak did, right? Like Pazak is the one from KOTOR, where you're like, these cards can't possibly be like precious items that exist in the world. You must just be able to fabricate them. It doesn't make any sense. And then the print quality is so high. You're like, I'm not convinced that they have this. So can I add this guy to my deck? Yes. So now I have 22 cards. Is that good? I don't know. What does this do? Decoy. Swap with a card on the battlefield to return it to your hand. That sounds useful. Can I add that in? No, I can't. Yes, I can. Sure, let's go. I don't know why it wanted me to have exactly 22 unit cards, but whatever. Choose a card to redraw. Oh, okay, apparently I did not successfully redraw by pressing that button. Oh well, it's fine, I'm sure I know what I'm doing. Ah, this dude's from Nausicaa. The whole UI of this game has been very unintuitive so far. Every time I try and do something, it never seems to work. Like, I would have thought that double-clicking a card or dragging a card would do something, but the only way I can do it is press enter. Oh no! Wait, can I freeze melee? Yes! Oh no, they're doubled still! Oh, wow, that's still a good play, I think. Wait, what was that? Did he pass? Or did he use an ability? I've got no idea what he did, because there's no way to see what his ability is. Oh, there we go. Right click it. Look at 3 random cards from your opponent's hand. Is that what he did? I don't know. Pick an impenetrable fog. I can't remember what impenetrable fog does. Odd play. Why did he do that? Oh, what's that then? Destroy siege, decoy. Looks like if I can't freeze his ranged line, well, I can... No, because he's not going to help, is he? So I guess I could decoy to get my ballista back. And fail around. Wait, how did it decide which card to get back? What's that? Oh, that's the weather that's in effect, right? How do I see how many cards he's got in his hand? Oh, 4. What? Looks cool, right? You've fallen into my trap. Assuming I can navigate this interface and play the correct card. Did I get to draw a card? Yes, I did. Cool. That's very useful. Well, I better hope he doesn't have anything to play. If I play Clear Weather, that keeps me in the game, but it wastes my Clear Weather. I don't want to play that, so I think I'm done. Let's hope he doesn't have any other cards. Hey, he doesn't have any other cards, I win. It was all skill. Yes! Did I just get 10 coins? Yes. I'm incredible.
See you.
And I won a card. That's compelling. That's compelling. Like, I feel a vague urge to play again so I can win another card, because winning cards is awesome. But the game itself is really boring, so I don't really want to play it. Okay, I probably shouldn't play too much longer, but let's find out what's actually going on at least.
Civilization ends at this council.
Oh, she was dressed in a way that made it look like she had something to say, but she really doesn't seem like she does. Ah, the smashing stuff. Oh, okay. Return to the region, yeah. To open the map of a given region. Oh, okay, alright, so we can see... Oh, this seems like quite a large world map. So Vizima is just the palace. White Orchard is where we've been already. Novigrad is a big old Baldur's Gate-y sort of town. Yep. I've got some sort of objective there. I'm not sure how I feel. There's two different ways to approach a game like this. I don't think... I mean, there's advantages and disadvantages to both, right? But this game has chosen to show me in advance where I will or won't be able to go. Shadows of War did the same thing. Lord of the Rings: Shadows of War. Which... well, as soon as you get through, there's quite a long, protracted intro, but then once you get to the world map, you can then see all the places you will be able to go that aren't unlocked yet. Which is interesting, because it kind of sells you on the scope of the game. Like, yeah, Assassin's Creed Origins does it as well. You like the very first time you get to the world map, you can zoom out and just see how incredibly vast the world is. I think I personally prefer it when the scope of the game expands over time. Like, you're going to Velen, so Velen appears on the world map. We don't know where else we're going. We don't know what the scope of the world map's going to be. I mean, maybe it's going to do that. Maybe the world map's going to suddenly expand and there'll be extra plots added to it, but I don't feel like that's going to be the case. It seems to be showing me... It seems to have established a specific chunk of the world which has an interesting event going on. And it's kind of set. I need to actually travel to Velen. Alright, where am I going? So I'm going to the Hanged Man's Tree.
Geralt and Yennefer were reunited, but something even more important happened in Vizima. Geralt learned that Cirilla, his one-time ward, had returned from afar, and she was in danger. He was to find her, at the Emperor's command and Yennefer's behest.
Thank you for purchasing Hearts of Stone. Your currently track quest has been changed to the first Hearts of Stone, yet we recommend starting it if your character is at least level 30. Wait, what? Wait, what? Have I got the wrong quest? Welcome to Blood and Wine. Okay, is it giving me the wrong quest or something? Is that what's happened here? Okay, I'm supposed to be... oh, okay, is it... yeah, that's what I'm doing, the Nilfgaardian Collector. So why is it... that's in Novigrad. Why has it told me about that? That's really weird. It's not my currently selected quest. It's not... I don't know, it sounds harsh, but it's not polished, right? I've had a lot of these weird little issues, and I mean, obviously I work on RuneScape, so I can't complain about this stuff, right? But for a modern AAA, extremely highly regarded game, it's just a little shonky around the edges. Like the interface is a little clunky. The fast travel, not fast travel, the breadcrumbs led me out of the map on occasion. I mean, I'm being a little unfair. Bethesda can't do this stuff either, so it's just endemic to RPGs and the way they work. Oh, the cutscenes I think are they're reminder cutscenes. That cutscene that played while it was loading. They're for when you're loading the game, it reminds you where you are in the story, which I think is a good way of doing it. It's just very strange that it uses it on transition loading as well.
Take it easy.
Because it reminded me when I went to... what's it called? Vizima. When I went to Vizima, it reminded me of the story that had literally just happened, even though I really didn't need that information because I couldn't possibly have got there without knowing it. That's what I mean about it. It's just a little off. If you see any wonders hanging in the woods, such as treats, no matter how fierce your belly grows, turn back. Whoever partakes of those treats is never seen again. You'll buy your drinks at the inn at the crossroads with Novigrad crowns. We take no other coin. Wait, is Novigrad Temerian? No, Novigrad is independent, right? Was Novigrad formerly Temerian? I don't know. We've no means to bury him. For lack of a better fare, I fed my young'uns pancakes. My children are sick. Watch what you say. My wife Hannah is missing. Okay, sure.
Master Richard, there's an elven burial ground in the caverns nearabouts mid-copse, and a heap of monsters roaming about it.
What?
There are a lot of them beasties you've, you know.
Where am I going? That's not following the road, horse. What are you doing? Are you going to follow the road this time? Maybe?
Then both forces attacked, one from either side. Cavalry swept into the wood.
Step away. Chaplain's praying, can't you see?
Do not cast him out, Broderick. All may draw from the well of the Eternal Fire's grace. Approach, Witcher.
Also, Novigrad is like Catholic Amsterdam.
What do you want?
Rejoice, for even a creature as depraved and base in nature as you can serve the glory of the Eternal Fire.
Classic Dutchman.
Someone must see to the corpses on the battlefield. Necrophages defile those not already rotting in mass graves. This is not right.
That's to be my good deed for the day?
A handsomely profitable one, I might add. I know your kind don't work for free.
All right, I'll take care of it.
This will count amongst your merits. The more good one works in life, the more hallowed things are. Yes, splendid. Here are the holy oils. Dash generously and set alight, understood? I wish it to flare up to the sky, for the glory of the Eternal Fire and all that.
Once I've incinerated the bodies, where'll I find you?
I shall be near the bridge to Novigrad.
Oh, you think Novigrad is like Prussia? Yeah, it could be. I was thinking because it seemed to be a large, wealthy trading town. I'm assuming that it's. Well, I don't know what Amsterdam was like in the medieval period, but this is the. It's a weird combination of modern politics and medieval politics, right? Like these things always are. So yeah, you're right. It could just be a wealthy Polish or German town. I mean, it's not necessarily an anything, right? But it's likely to, you know, hit a lot of the same tropes. It'll be a very multicultural place with lots of trade and merchants and poor people. Really wants me to fight whatever this is. It is Wild Dogs. What? It's Wild Dogs fighting a ghoul. Whoa. Some different herbs here. Some the same.
Hey-ya!
Come on now.
Unbind me before the next ones come.
When they come, I'll tend to them. Meanwhile, let's you and me chat. Like to know who I'm untying.
John Verdon. Served in the 10th Maribor Division.
Long way from your army.
The army don't exist no more. Black Ones smashed it to bits. I scarpered off into the woods just before that happened. Joined a group of refugees. Fucking bursting with patriotism they were. Soon as they learned I'd abandoned Temeria in her hour of need, they beat me down. Tied me up like a turkey, left me to the drowners.
Fine, I'll help.
Oh, thanks. For a minute there, I was almost sure you'd leave me to die. I'd like to thank you somehow, but I've not a chip crown to my name.
Tough. I'll take the loss.
Thanks, Witcher. May you prosper on the path.
That strikes me as something which is going to come back later, and he's going to turn out to be an unbelievable asshole and murder a child or something. And I'll be like, oh no, damn. If only I hadn't freed him.
Giddy up.
It's just a little bit too unassuming to have no consequences. Well, I don't need Drowned Braids, do I? Because, well, I may as well kill them anyway. Does that one have a winky eel flopping around there? Is that what that is? Or is it just like... Oh no, it's just like hair, like lank hair. Lovely.
Whoa!
So I'll slaughter her myself, hide her corpse neath the floorboards. Those bastards won't have her! Alright, alright. Be gone! This has naught to do with you.
Tormented souls walk among us. Falibor died. Wait, I've had that one already. They can afford 2 notes. What? They can't afford a funeral, but they can afford to put 2 notes on 2 different notice boards. How rich are these people? That's the Acorns one again. That one's in gibberish. My brother is missing. You'll find me in the inn. Ooh, the interior's got a different layout. I think the exterior model was the same, wasn't it? But the interior is different. That's good. I appreciate that effort. Hey, buddy.
Looking for a man. Goes by Hendrik.
What do you want with him?
Want to talk to him.
What about?
Give me a bottle of something strong.
Alcahest, please. That's what I need. That's... That wasn't a bottle.
You gotta go. I'll open the back way for you.
Got company. Who is it?
Innkeep, vodka.
I hope it's a bandit called Jimmy the Knife.
Who's this?
He doesn't look like a Jimmy the Knife.
Brave warrior, looks like. Got 2 swords, see?
Oi, grey boy. What's the point of having 2 swords?
Yay.
Wonder if he keeps an extra prick in his trousers too.
You fucking deaf? Gonna say who you are? Or do I need to loosen your tongue with me knife?
How about I buy everybody around?
Why would you?
Got the coin for it. Simple as that.
I don't drink with strangers.
We share a round, won't be strangers anymore. Then we go our separate ways.
And which way might yours be?
On my way to Novigrad.
City of whores and whoremongers.
To your health. And mine.
Bottoms up.
If you want a rest, come with me. I've a bench you can use.
I step in the hut, and there's the bumpkin with what looks like his son.
That guy's from Fantasy Polish Newcastle. I love it. So like that, yeah, that was very similar to the previous inn scene, and I was paying attention that time. And the music, like there was a little sting. The music was definitely implying that that was supposed to be a tense scene, but there wasn't any tension at all because there were no threat to me, and also like you imagine that scene with like Bruce Banner, there'd be an obvious tension in that he has a strong moral compass to not want to get into a fight because he knows he's a danger to other people and he doesn't want that. But Geralt has no such consideration at all. Like if he just murdered those guys, it wouldn't matter. And if they attack me, there's no threat to my life, and also I don't care if they die either. So there was just no stakes. It was a very strange thing to try to build tension over.
I don't generally poke my nose in other people's business.
Looking to stay the night?
No. I'm looking for Hendrik.
Man lives in Heatherton.
Don't know where that is.
Other side of the hill. Looked that away this morning, saw a strange glow. Imperials on the raid, perhaps. But who knows?
Anything else you can tell me about Hendrik?
Odd fellow. Arrived from who knows where and for no apparent reason. Shacked up with a widow whose husband was stabbed for a scrap of bread.
Baron's men don't like strangers.
Aye, he stays out of their way. Always seems to know when they're coming. Always manages to disappear.
Thanks, Inkeep.
Greetings.
Bloody Baron. How'd he get that moniker? There a story to it?
A time ago, when he was still in the army, some Blackens had holed up in a dye works. Baron and his men were ordered to take it. Others might have bided their time, starved him out, but the Baron's an hasty one, attacked straight away. The Blackens surrendered. Baron and his men took most of them alive, but one of his blokes knocked over a vat of red dye. It all ran into the river. Folk took to saying that the river flowed red with blood, that the Baron had slaughtered his prisoners to a man. Been known as the Bloody Baron ever since.
Kind of ironic.
Well, a week before, he'd massacred a whole squadron in Ingholm, but far fewer heard that story.
That's doing the exact same thing I was complaining about earlier, right? He just exposited a story to me. He doesn't sound like someone who lives here, and like he has an uncanny knowledge of exactly what happened, but he didn't relay that to me. It's not like he was proud of the fact that he's the one that secretly knows what happened. He just sort of dispassionately relayed this information to me. He was giving me expository backstory, not like communicating a character or anything.
Baron's not from around here, right?
He's Temerian, but from other parts. Folk say he deserted along with his company. Showed up here one day with his stragglers. They'd all had enough of the wandering. So they took the old lord's castle, and the Baron became master of Crow's Perch. Reckon once the Blackens feel sure they hold the land, they'll let him keep Crow's Perch, give him a true title.
Wouldn't mind a drink. Show me what you got.
A Nilfgaardian card.
Thanks. Farewell.
Yeah, so you say, like, yeah, he's a bartender, so he's just relying on a story, right? But that's what I mean about, like, it's fine for one character to be kind of neutral and personalityless and just regale you with information. That can be a personality. But if every NPC talks that way, then it's not a personality, it's a writing problem. And so far, like, the last 3 NPCs I've talked to have all just regaled me with, you know, stories that aren't coming from a perspective. They're not. It's not a character's take on something. It's just the writer telling me some information. Right, where am I going? Here to find Henrik. Hendrik, not Henrik. Okay, I'm not going to do any of the side content stuff for now. I'll carry on a little bit and see what happens with Hendrik. Oh, I think a fly just flew in my mouth. Ah. Which horse is mine? Is this my horse? No, that horse is attached to that cart. Where's my horse gone? There he is.
Go, go.
Yeah, like with the comparison with Gwent and Hearthstone, right? Like, Warcraft isn't a very serious setting. It doesn't take pride in its world building at all. It's all kind of goofy, very high fantasy, kind of very broad strokes mythical stuff. So you're like, there are goblins with rocket ships in this setting. I guess it's fine if everyone in this setting plays a card game. Yeah, why not? That seems fine. It's bordering on funny, like parodic. Even they didn't really pitch it that way, but they could have done. But yeah, with this setting wants me to take it seriously, but it, yeah. I mean, you get that kind of stuff, right? Because you have like inconsistent. It's rare that a game has a really consistent design philosophy, especially something which is aiming to be a kind of big, broad, open world type RPG like this. It's always going to have loads and loads of competing design ideas. It's kind of fair enough, really. It's not really avoidable, but it does detract. Oh, I've taken the wrong path, apparently. It's useless GPS. Oh well. Seems mean.
Shut up and fight.
Like those scenes in the bar where there's like multiple people attacking me. If this had the combat system of Dark Souls, being attacked by 3 people would be a serious threat. Like if it's Dark Souls and like 3 people picked a fight with me in a bar, I'd be like, oh my god, please no. Or there's a similar scene in Slay the Spire, right? And I know how to do that fight now, but if you're doing badly in Slay the Spire and the bandits demand your money, you need to give them your money or your run is going to end right there.
Air strange, like dropping into a deep cellar on a hot day. The mist.
Be gone! Leave me be, whoever you is! Get away!
Calm down. It's over.
Alright, using his powers is good.
Aye, it's over. All's past, never to be restored.
I'll not forget that ever.
Looking for a man named Hendrik, supposed to live in this village.
Aye, he did. No longer. They nabbed him in that hut. If you'd have heard the cries, sir. If you'd have heard how a man can scream, how he can suffer.
Tell me what happened here, step by step.
They took him. Took him all. The sun was waning, see, and the dusk went crimson like blood. Thought to myself, strange, the toads, I cannot hear them. Save terror through and through. Hendrik screamed. Then he begged. By the end, he could do naught but moan.
Great.
Long, the terrors. Yet the village froze like in the heart of winter.
You in that hut when they rode off?
No, and I'll not set foot there. Never.
Farewell, and peace of mind to you.
That's good. That's characterized the Wild Hunt a bit. That's good. They're not like, because like random ghosts, right, aren't very interesting. If I compare them with like the current baddies in World of Warcraft, who are just like similar kind of thing, right? They're like a kind of generic evil Chaos Warrior, spiky armor guys, but they have zero personality. They don't do anything or really say anything. These guys have been depicted. I mean, it's not a complicated depiction, right? But they've been depicted as cruel. I should probably heal, shouldn't I? They've been depicted as like cruel, and they tortured some guy, and that's pretty neat. Like, it makes me a lot more interested in them, because they're obviously sentient beings that want something and are prepared to be horrible to do it. And it's a setting full of cruel humans, and actually, so that reinforces the point, because if the humans are more cruel than the evil undead abominations, because the human lords are like horrible, malicious, sadistic brutes, and the evil undead just kind of ride in and murder everybody, which is actually not that bad on the scale of this sort of crapsack world. Yeah, that's good. Much more invested in the story
Tortured
now.
him. Maybe they missed something. Need to check his pockets.
I think I would have put
Trousers are
pockets.
Stiff, as if hung out to dry midwinter. Maybe hid something in his jerkin. Damn, he's cold as ice. Nothing here.
I need to check his. I should search his trousers. Such awkward phrasing.
Should check his boots. Blood, congealed. Key hidden in his boot. Gotta fit a keyhole.
Nice.
Somewhere nearby, hopefully. There's a draft. Gotta be a space under this rubble. Guess I should do some cleaning.
A secret lair. Full of urns of something. Tamara Stranger, daughter of the Bloody Baron, presumed kidnapped. Interesting.
Valuables left unlocked, on display, almost. Lost his mind, or...
See anything else to interact with? Ah.
Interesting. A ledger. Payment for a sack of grain. Amount due for a charcoal shipment. Hendrik was masquerading as a merchant. What's this? Notes among the ledger entries. Clever. Interesting headings. Missing and wanted. Subject appeared in Skellige. Also cited in Novigrad. Appearance unchanged. Ashen hair. Scar on her face. Avoids contact with others. Drunken swine. So-called Baron hosted subject at his castle, or should I say, illegally appropriated fort. Reason unknown. Talked to Baron at Crow's Perch. Clashed with a witch. Subject landed in swamp, encountered a witch. Conflict ensued. Cause unknown. Find the witch. Talk to the peasantry. Village of Midcopse. Caution advised. I'm being observed. Don't know by whom or why. Unsettling signs. Dog ran off. Water in bucket froze solid. Strange glow observed in the sky. Ill omen, peasants say. Somehow they learned Hendrik was looking for Ciri. Thus the torture. I'm too late. My only leads, the Baron and some witch. Damn.
Okay, I think I'll go talk to the Baron, and then that's probably a good time to stop. I'll see how I'm getting on.
That's it, Roach.
Probably, if I wasn't streaming, what I would normally do is just complete every subquest I see in advance. It kind of depends how I'm feeling about the game, though. How am I feeling about this game? Would I have done the side quests? I think so, yeah. I think I probably would have done a few nearby question marks. My attitude tends to be either that the game is interesting me, therefore I will do everything, or the game isn't interesting, therefore I will skip straight ahead with the main plot and not do anything, not do any side quests. Or I'll just stop playing it entirely, which is more common, I think. I'm trying to get a bit more disciplined about them. You can see I'm not doing a particularly good job of it here. I'm trying to get a bit more disciplined about just quickly playing through a game so that I see most of it, rather than either being absolute completionist or not playing it at all. Because I feel a bit like I ought to be playing more different games. Oh, I haven't spent any skill points for ages. Where do I do that from? Somewhere around here. Yeah. Percy seemed to just think that increasing fast attack damage is probably a good idea, which to be honest it probably is, since that's what I do all the time. Can I just buy 5 stacks of this? Yep. Okay, and that one's not actually doing anything for me when it's not a boss fight. So I might as well buy that one instead. Because it sounds cool. I'm just going to recklessly spend some points. It's really bothering you, isn't it, that these guys aren't fleeing from combat? I mean, there are games where the guys flee from combat, and it tends to be really, really irritating. Depends on how the game is structured, right? But it tends to mean you have to run them down and murder them in order to get their loot from them, so it produces an annoying gameplay experience. But yeah, there are again it's like I'm not taking the world so seriously because everyone seems so willing to start fights with the Witcher all the time. Just attack him constantly for no reason. What's a dragon's dream? Oh, I made some formula things. What are they called? I made some of these decoctions. I made a Wraith decoction and a Griffin decoction. Don't feel like it will actually help very much, but maybe it'll be a useful trick to some boss fight. No, I don't want to light lights. I want to steal stuff. My daughter's already annoyed with me for being completionist about picking stuff up. She's like, Daddy, you need to go up the stairs. You need to go up the stairs. I'm like, no, because it tells us to go up the stairs, which means down the stairs there's probably a treasure chest. And then whenever there's no treasure chest down the stairs, she's like, see, Daddy, I told you you should have gone up the stairs. You're wasting time. My wife gets really irritated when I smash all the barrels. It's particularly barrels that bother her. Like, if there's like random objects that you can smash to get XP or coins or something in the game, then I'm just diligently going around smashing all of them. So she loses interest in whatever it is I'm doing. Probably ought to learn to just rush through the main story. That's what I did with The Last of Us. Not that there was much option to rush through the main story, but I wouldn't have finished The Last of Us if she didn't want to know what was going on. These seem like friendly chaps. They will definitely not send me to kill a monster before they let me in. Hey guys, should we just go past? Huh, okay. No. Yeah. They're not bothered at all. Alright, I guess I'll take my horse then. Kind of assumed that would be an event. Drop, drop, drop. Oh, it's a little Norman fort thing. That's cute.
Right in the chops, see? Sure.
Not so fast, Roach.
Give me a slingshot. Gonna hunt bears.
Quite the work my man's got, eh?
Not half bad.
Brought home a bucket of peelings yesterday. The feast we had.
He's not scared. Baron finds out someone's stealing food for the pigs.
Spot of cider for you? Or a bit of dry curd? Me lad, it's not exactly bursting, but what I got's sure to please.
Like to take a look.
He didn't say show me what you got. Oh, what's this? An item that starts a quest? What? That's insane. I need it. I kind of want to buy some saddlebags at some point, but I'll wait until I've got more money than inventory room.
Farewell.
Is that going to start a quest? No. Do I have to read the damn thing? And should we thus submit our life to religion, or should we interpret religion so that it serves our lives instead? There are many schools as there are as many schools as there are philosophers, and many stories as there are human beings. And let us not forget elven beings, nor dwarven, halfling, gnomish ones, nor any other such sapient creature familiar with the quandaries of the soul. I, for my part, having survived now more than 120 years, vodka and radishes work wonders, lend no credence to anyone who claims differently, can swear with all certainty that there is no way to reconcile everyone at once, and what pleases one will provoke whinging and sulking in another, and will undoubtedly cause a third to reach for his knife if it dares depart from his known narrow world by so much as a hair. What then are we to do? How should we live? Why, as we like, as our soul urges, disregarding all the brayings of philosophers and ethicists, those contained in this tome included, disregard them as we would fairy tales or old wives' legends. Ah, he's discovered Nietzscheism. Is that actually giving me a quest? Doesn't look like it.
So you're that white one.
If I was a fantasy merchant, I would paint yellow exclamation marks on all of my goods, thus encouraging people to buy them.
Lifeless, move it! I can't seem to catch my breath. I think the smudger might have been choking me last night. It's master the trade. Keeps the hunger at bay. Halt! Oh God!
Oh, is it this
Baron
Newcastle guy again?
Depends who's asking.
Yeah.
Want to talk to him?
Yeah. And I want to plough the lovely Queen Cero.
Seen this man before. In at the crossroads. You brought us around.
Consequences.
You were to go your separate way.
It led me here. Gotta talk to the Baron.
Oh, aye? What about?
Something important. His ears only.
Fine. Lodrin, let him in. If he makes... well, we outnumber him.
Open the gate. Sergeants! Ardle! Witcher, to see the Baron. Don't want no disturbances. That clear?
What do you think?
I'm gonna have to go look all this up now to find out what happens, since the whole point I'm studying this is for choices, understanding the impact of choices.
God called you a sergeant. You a Temerian soldier?
Not your concern, mate.
Deserter.
Temerian army don't exist no more.
So what are you all doing here?
Had a choice after the Black Ones thrashed us. Let it lie and try to lead normal lives. Or continue to resist, join the guerrillas and fight for our beloved Temeria till death do us part. We chose the former.
And the Baron your commander?
Yeah. Commander.
I'll tell you where the loot's at.
Your mate split the loot between them long ago. At least that's what I would have thought. And you.
This is the castle of regional English accents. I love it. I'm in Fable.
In Vizima, now those were balls. Attended a few, me and my Annie. How we danced, how we twirled,
Oh!
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey!
Enough. I don't care how you do it, but the deliveries must be weekly.
Won't you stay for tea?
No. Besides, you've another guest.
Look at that. Didn't even stay for tea. In spite of all that blabbering about how cultured the nation is. I know who you are. Believe I also know why you've come. We'll talk inside. Make yourself at home. Where'd I put the bloody vodka? Ah, there it is. A snifter.
Why not?
Ha! A man after my own heart. With Foltest dead and Natalis whereabouts unknown. Bloody hell. Who's a loyal Temerian to drink to these days?
Himself and his company?
Good enough. To the matter at hand. I'm Philip Strenger. Now the Blobtids round here call me the Bloody Baron.
Geralt of Rivia. Blobtids call me the Butcher of Blaviken.
I said already, I know who you are. Truth be told, the reason we're talking. How do you like it here in Velen?
Lovely place. Swamps, bogs, marshes everywhere.
Exactly. Someone loses their way around here, he becomes damn hard to find.
What are you getting at?
Many have lost loved ones here. Some their wives, others their daughters.
Get to the point already.
Ciri, that's why you've come, isn't it?
So she was here.
She showed up some time ago. Exhausted, wounded, and stinking like a soaked hound after a hard hunt. Later, I learned she'd come from the swamp. Said some beasts from the woods attacked her before she could reach the village.
That was close. I must leave this place.
This is a great, great storytelling technique for computer games to use. I'm all in. I mean, it's always that awkward question of like, how does the character know exactly what happened? But it's such a good version of show don't tell, right? Like, oh, she can rogue dodge. Love it. Why isn't the game about playing this character? She's way better. Yeah, and then she ran around harvesting plants, yeah. And then she dodged, and then she dodged again, and then she dodged again, and then she got hit by a wolf.
Down. Hello there. Are you lost?
A little, I guess. Are you?
I never lose my way.
Ooh. If that's true, what are you doing so deep in the forest alone?
Looking for lost little girls.
What happened to you?
This?
It's nothing.
Other than her hair colour, she looks and sounds almost identical to Yennefer. Like if this was an RPG and I'd created these characters, right? I chose the same face preset and the same voice preset for these two female characters, but then I changed the hair colour and the hairstyle and added a scar.
How did you wind up here?
My father brought
Oh no, she's got a hint of an accent, a hint of a rural accent.
Eat my fill. He said he would wait. So I started down the trail, but then I saw a butterfly, and I ran to catch it, and I lost my way.
Your father, why did he have you follow the trail of treats? Do you know?
Because we had naught to break our fast with.
I don't understand.
I was naughty. Broke a jug. Stole all our milk.
Your parents must have been angry.
Mother said I should be spanked, but Father said wouldn't do no good. Too many mouths to feed anyway. Sending me down the trail of treats, that would solve things.
You and your father, when did you leave home?
This morning.
And did the sun warm your face or your back?
It warmed my back.
So we must go east. Come, I'll walk you home. And explain to your parents that they must not lose their children in the woods.
We can't go home because of the Wolf King and his pack.
No kings among wolves.
These have one.
And you've seen him?
Yes. I mean, no. From behind a tree. He was huge, with giant eyes and great fangs, and he was terribly, disgustingly horrific.
See what I've got on my back? Wolves fear it. Kings do too. Come, I'll help you up.
I mean, she's still a little bit irritating, but I'm way more interested in protecting this little girl than I was as Geralt in protecting Ciri, as an illustration of the point I was making earlier. Like, the little girl's a bit irritating, but on the other hand, her father tried to kill her, so like I have an inherent sympathy for her.
Quick, hide!
That's nice that the little girl gave me incorrect instructions. That's prioritizing characterization over like good in-game direction, which is good in this case. I think it's obvious that I shouldn't hide from them, but often the character would still say something like kill them, even though it's way more in character for her to tell me to hide from them.
You can come out now.
My brave. My father couldn't even do that.
Mine.
I'm not sure about her run animation. She's a little bit dainty.
Massacred. Something with immense claws.
Look! There's something there.
Wait here. Don't come any closer.
But...
No buts. Stay here. I must see something. Bloodshot, but still moist. He died recently. Lips parted and bloated. Bit clear through his tongue. Immense pain before death. His chest is crushed. Ribs probably pierced his lungs. Something picked him up and threw him against the tree. tore his leg off. No, gnawed it off.
Ew, that's horrible.
Stay there, and look away. What's this? An arrow's missing. Interesting.
I'm not sure about her delicateness in like trying to protect the little girl from seeing something horrible. That seems. I'm not convinced that's adding to the character. Maybe it's, but like it's good that she's protective of the little girl. That obviously she was a lost little girl herself once, and so that's all consistent. Wanting to protect her from horrible things doesn't. Okay, it's not fair to criticize it for not following a standard trope, but it's a believable trope that because she grew up hard, she thinks that growing up hard is a good thing.
Let's see. His liver's gone.
Why are you digging through his belly?
Would you mind making certain your laces are tied?
Oh, sorry, Percy, I didn't see what you said. Yeah, I said it just before you got back. Yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about earlier in terms of like I feel a much stronger sense of protectiveness over this little girl that something horrible's happened to than over Ciri, who was just annoying. So yeah, this is similar. I like these little autopsy scenes. They're walking a really delicate line, which is really good. They make the characters seem knowledgeable. They're not annoyingly full of jargon, like annoying like faux medieval terminology, like his sight orbs are highly inflammatory or something. And also, but they also don't feel modern. Like there's been bits of language like that felt kind of modern and a bit unimmersive, but I haven't. They don't feel like they're trying to play into like she's a forensic scientist from a cop show kind of thing. You know, it feels grounded in the setting. So yeah, I'm quite impressed with these little scenes.
The Wolf King's no fantasy, it seems. Except he's a werewolf.
What happened to him?
He had a fall.
That's a very expensive belt she's got on.
The Wolf King got him.
When did children get so smart?
What will we do when the Wolf King finds us?
Good question. I've no silver, but I can make a blade oil.
Oil? You mean like we make from rapeseed?
No, a far more special oil. Of dog tallow, wolfsbane, fool's parsley, and wolf's liver. The Wolf King will feel terrible, terrible pain.
You're smart. How do you know these things? Did your father teach you?
Not my father. My uncle. Uncle Vesemir.
Yeah, I'm not convinced by the way she's interacting with this child. She's like, when did children get so smart? Which is a really odd thing for someone who like, I mean, I'm assuming she ran away from home or was forced to leave home at like the age of 8 or something and ran off and became a witcher and like, when did children become so smart is a really weird thing for someone with that backstory to say. Also, what is with this run animation?
Wolves.
Hide! Quickly!
King will be angry.
It's dead. But a pig here? Must be a human settlement nearby.
Her walk animation looks like someone installed a walk animation
Alright.
from Skyrim called More Feminine Walk Animation.
Now for a spot where I can build a fire. Brew the oil
Doesn't
in
care that
peace.
it's from a Korean RPG. I don't feel like it fits the character.
What you doing?
Greasing my blade. There. See just how effective Uncle Vesemir's formulae are.
implies that she's never used blade oil before.
Do parents often send their children out to follow the sweets? Bellies all in blood. Clawed open. No wolves did this.
Oh, I interrupted the dialogue I was interested in.
Clawed open. No wolves
With some
did
dialogue I
this.
wasn't interested in. Damn it. Recent God of War did that incredibly well. Whenever you interrupted a conversation, then eventually when they had the chance to, they would resume it. They'd go, anyway, getting back to my story, and then they'd resume the conversation that they were having before. They did it like they do it on. There's a boat that you sail around, and they tell stories while they're on the boat. And if you interrupt it, they resume it. But also, I had it happen with it was just an incident of dialogue while I was climbing a ladder. I did something to interrupt just the ambient conversation that happened on the ladder, and then I carried on down the corridor, and then they just resumed the point he was making. It was really nicely done. Her walk is fairly sensible.
This way.
No, she's look at her shoulders. She's got her shoulders back like a supermodel. She's really thrusting her chest out.
It's a bit dark.
Afraid?
Are you?
No.
Then I'm not either.
She's only got one sword. She's like a rubbish witcher.
What?
The Wolf King, now do you believe me?
I do. Hide!
Boy, you really give him a drubbing. Never seen anything like it.
Girl, you can come out now. Come on.
Yeah, I know she's not really a Witcher, but she's got the Witcher hair color, right? So, like, it's very misleading. Like, everything about her appearance screams, I am sexy female Geralt, except she's not.
You're lucky we came this way. Found someone far less fortunate in the forest.
Yaren, must be. We was returning from Midcops when the brute attacked. I managed to flee, but Yaren...
The little one. No details.
So Geralt has white hair, and Ciri also has white hair, so they're like the only two characters I've seen with that hair color. They're also trained by the same organization, have very similar fighting styles, very similar origin stories and stuff. Yeah, sure, but I maybe other witches don't have white hair, but I don't know any other witches, and the story is literally called The Witcher, right? And like, he's got funny eyes and white hair, and those are the two things about his appearance that are characteristic, right?
You have bandages at home? Some spirit? He laid a claw or two on me, unfortunately.
I've not, miss, but my lord, he's a powerful man. He's sure to help you. Might even reward you for cutting the werewolf down.
Very well. Lead us to your lord.
Just who do you think you brought me, man? That's not me daughter.
And the little one?
Neither, damn it! I think I'd know my own child.
Well, might not be yours, the older one, but you've got to admit the likeness. That's downright striking. So, any chance for that reward?
You'll not see one fucking copper. Get out before I set my hands on you. So, stew any good?
Very. Thank you. I'd not eaten in...
Clear to see. I'm pleased you like it. Had them prepare a bath for you once you've eaten, and you could do with some sleep. Gretka in the nook behind the hearth. You in the guest room opposite the kitchen.
Thank you.
Shh. Eat now. We'll speak once you've rested. So I ordered my men to watch her and left her to rest.
And?
Ah, a topic for another time.
The little girl who showed up here with Ciri. What happened to her?
Gretka. She's safe and sound. Helps out in the kitchen. Ciri told me of the girl's parents, what they decided. So I decided not to send the lass home. She's fed here. A roof over a warm corner she calls her own. She wants for nothing.
What happened to Ciri?
I've told you already. Topic for another time.
I need to find her. Understand? I need every last bit of information available.
I understand. But you see, it so happens my wife and daughter are missing as well. I propose an exchange. Find my loved ones, and I shall tell you about the girl you seek. All I know.
Thing is, can I trust you? What guarantees do I have?
None whatsoever. Only my word.
Fine, I'll help you. I'll find your family, but then you'll give me every bit of information you have.
You have my word. Guard! This man's under my protection. No one's to bother him in any way. Don't stare, I've not grown horns. Treat it as a token of my good faith.
When do you see them last?
They vanished after the new moon, as if whisked away by shadows.
What do you mean, vanished?
Precisely that. I awoke one morn to find them gone.
I'll need to know a lot more than that. Can I see their rooms?
What for?
I need clues. Anything to latch onto.
I'll not let a stranger pore through their belongings.
Want me to find them or not?
I do.
Then let me work.
Man, I'm going to nick all the dog tallow in their bedrooms.
But I shall go with you. The doors are locked.
Oh no, he's going to go hostile if I steal the dog tallow. Right, I need to stop soon, but I guess I'll wait till the next time I'm out in the world and then stop. Unless this is an incredibly long part, in which case I might have
When
to
she
stop
was a
before.
babe, my daughter loved animals. Saw a deer trophy on a wall once. Do you know what she asked?
Haven't got a clue.
Papa, is that deer's wump on the other side of the wall? You see it there? What's a trophy? I pity any bastard who's hurt her. I'll flay him alive. Here it is. Damn it! Jammed again. Bedchamber. Tamara's room is there.
What?
Try not to make a mess. For their return, I want everything to be as they left it.
That suggests I shouldn't steal everything in the room.
Wooden candlestick. Stem's broken.
Alright, so yeah, Percy said... Yeah, you wanted me to tell... Oh, hello, Jenny. I couldn't find a drowner brain, so I moved on before finishing that quest. Which quest? The one to make Swallow for the wounded woman. Right, I think I'll leave it here because I probably ought to stop, and it seems like a good place to save. If you leave White Orchard before giving her Swallow the quest updates, if you go back straight after the herbalist tells you she dies. Right, yeah. Yeah, because it thinks that you chose not to heal her, yeah. I spent quite a lot of time looking for Drowner Brains before I realised I only needed one. Right, I'm away all next week. I do need to carry on with this. What am I going to do? What I should do, no, actually, what I should do is I should leave myself in a situation where I can go do side quests without streaming them, because I can do something like that in my lunch break. So yeah, I'll carry on with the main plot until I'm back out on the world map. Didn't realise there was going to be quite such a long... Oh, I really want to steal all this stuff. Oh my god, I'm going to steal it all. I made a save, it's fine.
Fresh flowers. He expects them to return any minute. Takes hope. Wooden candlestick. Stem's broken.
What's the significance of that? Wooden candlestick.
Walls a different color. Something used to hang here. That painting? Right size.
That painting?
The Baron and his wife. Look happy enough. What's this? Gotta wonder who wanted to hide the hole. And what's on the other side. It gets interesting. Piece of wood looks like the stem of that candlestick. No coincidence there. Fight might have happened here. I'll look for clues.
Also, the candlestick snapped off in there. It's not that they were trying to hide it, it's that it snapped off. That makes sense.
Deep nicks. Hit with a heavy object.
Yeah, same as with the autopsy scene, right? This feels like a legit investigation, but I also don't feel like I'm in a cop show.
Rest of the candlestick and wine stains. Somebody smashed a bottle from Toussaint. Yeah, Herveloos. Scent hasn't died. Wonder where it'll lead me.
It's also, yeah, it's consistent that he's an expert on alcohol because he needs it for his alchemy. That's fair enough.
Damn, trail breaks off. Could find something else though. Spruce wood. Smells of juniper incense. Some sort of folk talisman. Protective. Question is, against what? Won't find much else here.
Done poking around?
Found signs of a fight in the room. Know anything about that?
A fight? What are you talking about?
Someone was attacked. Probably your wife or daughter. Whoever it was tried to defend themselves with a candlestick. Missed the attacker. Punctured the wall instead. They tussled too.
I don't know nothing about this. That night, I was drunk, don't remember a thing. They were gone by the time I awoke.
Doubt you were the only ones in the castle. Maybe one of your men heard something?
3 times I asked those bastards if they'd seen anything, heard anything. Nothing, not a one of them.
Whole landing smells of wine. Tell me anything about that?
One of the lads, must be. Lushes, one and all.
Give your men Airvalus?
Oh, damn it. I might have spilled it. I told you I was good and marinated that night. Was it matter? Stench of wine in plenty of corn around the castle.
Recognize this amulet?
Yes. Anna began wearing it a time ago.
Any idea where she got it?
None.
Any witches or cunning women in the area?
A Pella? Old Coot lives near Blackbow. And there's a cunning woman in Midcopse, but I know little about her. She's only recently arrived. If Anna were to see someone, she'd choose the Pella, not the woman. Anna was wary of strangers, newcomers.
Ought to have a chat with this Peller.
Fair warning, he's a hard man to talk to. Rumour has it he killed his own father with an axe as a lad, then went batty. Now they say he sees ghosts and ploughs his goat.
Not really interested in his hobbies. Just want to ask about the amulet.
Okay, let's find our way outside, and then I do need to stop. I need to feed the cats and get to bed.
Could use some hair of the hound.
Is this outdoors enough? I think it is. Yeah, it looks like it. Right. I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you, everyone. I'll hopefully be back in just over a week, but I'll see how it goes. Right. Good night. See you again soon.